The single biggest problem that I know that a vast number of people have in common is just not enough money. If your life is a mess, and you don't know what you want, and you're in a job you can't stand, with people to whom you can't relate, how can you just be in a state of happiness and appreciation, just allow all the good things to come to you? The Law of Attraction, the book, The Secret, Rhonda Byrne, either the video or reading the book or both. When I first came across this, it looked like, wow, this sounds like magic. And it does come across very, very much like magic. On the one hand, I know what they're saying is not fantasy. It's actually true. It's certainly true, I believe, for a lot of those people you see in the video who are presenting it. But what's true for one person is not necessarily true for another. That doesn't make it true across the boards. Law of attraction, I'm pretty sure, works for some people and not for others. Some people have what looks like a charmed life. All the opportunities and all the breaks just come to them early on. Probably the greatest charm of all is knowing exactly what you want from a very early age. If you're a small child and you know exactly what you want, very, very specifically, and you just go after that because you want to anyway, not because you've got to earn a living from it, not because of for any other reason other than that is your passion, that is what you're chasing after, the chances are, because you've got years ahead, and as long as your parents are supporting you, you've got a very good chance of making that happen. But that certainty and clarity of focus has to be there. These people who are banging the drum for the law of attraction, they pretty much know who they are, and I bet they knew who they were for a long time. And maybe they only had specific problems in life, like relationships with people at work, or romance issues, or one small problem or another. Now, the single biggest problem that I know that a vast number of people have in common is just not enough money. That's the biggest one. The trouble is with that is a symptom of their real problems, not a cause. Because unfortunately, money, although it looks real, because we see coins and notes or numbers on our screens, it's not actual. Those coins are not really worth anything, and neither is the paper. It's only an agreed upon idea that these numbers in your account are exchangeable, that these pieces of paper in your wallet are exchangeable. It's just an idea. And people have belief and confidence in that idea to such a degree that it has value. It's all believed value. But it's certainly real because everybody agrees on it. So you can spend this stuff. You say you can't actually just make money. Well, yes, you can. You can forge notes, and you can mint your own coins, and you'll end up in prison, of course, because that's illegal. So you have to do something to make money. You have to offer a product or a service or something intangible. You have to exchange with the world in some way in order to get money. It's pretty hard to do if you don't know what you're about. If you don't know who you are, or you have too many different passions, or all your passions have been killed, you'll only do what's on offer. You'll pick the least disagreeable of your options, and you'll do it to the minimum. As one of my cousins calls it, living life to the min. You do just what you need to do or think you need to do, just to pay the rent, just to exist, just to go forward, just to pay the mortgage, just to live, without any real passion behind it. And of course you'll experience tiredness, worry and uncertainty, and certainly not having enough money. But these people who talk about the law of attraction, say this is a wonderful thing and it can make miracles happen, I'm sure that is absolutely true. I've been through periods of my life where things have been going extraordinarily well, and the law of attraction is a very realistic thing, counter to what it can appear like on the other side. But if your life is a mess, and you don't know what you want, and you're in a job you can't stand, with people to whom you can't relate, and you just think, this is just hard, and it's just making me tired, and I'm just aging. That's all that's really happening here. I'm just wasting time. And you try and use the law of attraction then. Oh, just be in a state of appreciation. You can't be. You're a slave. You're stuck in a job you hate. And you've got to stay there, otherwise you've got no money. How can you just be in a state of happiness and appreciation and just allow all the good things to come to you? It can't happen. It just can't. The facts of life are that if you walk out of that job, the chances are your money will run out and you can end up homeless. So you can't just sit on a cloud and dream your life into perfection. But these people who are pushing the law of attraction, pretty much, they've got their act together. And that's a brilliant expression, got their act together. Shakespeare said all the world's a stage and everyone's a player, right? An actor, players on the stage. Now, people who know their part and play their part well, they do well. And it is that simple. Doesn't mean it's easy. Because if you don't know your part, how can you play it well? How can you thrive? How can you prosper? So the first thing you do need to know is, what is your part? What is your passion? What is your drive? What are you here to do? If you can get that right first and have life ticking over nicely, heading in the right direction, then it's time for law of attraction. When you're at the bottom, law of attraction, they say, you know, lift your vibration, be in a positive state of mind. Yes, that will help, definitely. It'll help you stay positive about a miserable life until eventually you run out of energy. And you'll be smiling and being positive no matter what. Never let, attitude is everything, and you're okay, and it's all good. And it never gets any better. It just doesn't get any better at all. And you can't keep that up forever. You just can't. So you have to dig deep, and you have to work out who the hell you are. There's no getting around this. You know, you've got to figure out who you want to be, the person you really are, and you've got to write your own script, write your own part based on that. And then you've got your act together, and you're ready to go on stage and act it. But that's where the work is, working on yourself, knowing who you are. Know thyself, as the Greek philosophers, was it Socrates? Probably came from Plato originally. That's what you need to know. You need to know yourself. You need to know who you are. Think, well, how can I do that? Ask yourself, who am I? No answer comes. So you ask yourself again, who am I? Who am I? And from my experience, you just keep asking that. And first of all, vague ideas will come. Well, I'm a creator. I'm an artist. I like to make things. I like to invent things and imagine things up. And eventually, something comes into focus. I used to say, I want to be a writer, and I'm writing these novels. Now, the conventional world, and some well-meaning conventional types suggested, well, why don't you become a journalist? They're writers. No, it's like, no. And another one suggested, why don't you write copy for advertisers? That's writing. You're writing slogans and advertising descriptions for companies. And I'm afraid, to be honest, without meaning to be critical, that bored me to death. Journalists, writing is a skill they use. Writing is not the purpose. The purpose seems to be, let's look around the world for the most horrifying or miserable stories we can, use our writing skill to communicate that to everybody else. Sorry, that doesn't appeal to me. Nothing wrong with advertising. You've got to sell things, right? And it's quite positive, you know, using your skills to project something in a positive light and to sell it. Nothing wrong with that. But that wasn't my passion. You know, my passion was to create something. It's basically, I want to create and communicate. If I can create something I believe in, the format actually doesn't matter. At the core level, I want to create, whether that's to make a story as a writer, to make some music or a song, or to write a poem or lyrics to a song, or to make a picture, art, drawing, or on the computer screen, or a computer game. Create something and communicate it. And when I realised that that was the basic of me, it sort of didn't matter whether I was going to be a writer or a games developer or a musician. They're all relevant to who I am. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I make music, that's why I make the games, and that's why I write my books. Because they're in alignment with that. But it all starts with asking myself, who am I? What am I about? What is my act in the world? Why am I here? And I'm hoping that's helpful to somebody out there. Hi everyone, my name is Neil Carpenter. I am the computer games developer who made Lord Temmin's Fortress. You can see the description below. If you like this video, please subscribe or like. Thank you. Have a great day.